Okay, get your homework out from yesterday also, and we're going to go over those other problems, which should help a lot with the quiz too.
Number 3, YXC is at 7x plus 2.
Plus 12. 7x plus 12. Right here? Yeah. Okay, we about ready? All right, it says E is between, A is between E and T. Find X and EA. Okay, so what's my equation? Perfect. Okay, so 3x and 7x, that's 10x minus 2 equals 9x plus 4. And then minus 9x. So that's x plus 2. So x is 6. Okay, now, and it wants to know EA. So from E to A is 3x minus 2. So 3 times 6 minus 2, 18 minus 2 is 16, which is EA. Any questions on that? What? Did you have the right equation?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I was confused on the EA part.
Okay.
You just put the X with 3X.
Right. You plug it in to get the length of that segment.
Yeah, I didn't do that.
Okay. All right. Everybody else good? Okay. All right. So now we've got a midpoint thing going on. Okay. So it says M is the midpoint. So our formula says the midpoint of the x's is x1 plus x2 over 2, and the midpoint of the y's is y1 plus y2 over 2. All right, now they gave us the midpoint. The x coordinate is -2, so that goes out in front. Okay, our x value for the point we know, the end point we know, is -4 plus x2 over 2. Okay, this is really over 1, so we can cross multiply. So -4 equals -4 plus x2. We add 4. So x2 equals 0. Okay, now, so let's do the y's. The midpoint of the y's is 3. And the y that we have is 7 plus y2 over 2. Okay, so we end up cross multiplying. 6 equals 7 plus y2 minus 7 minus 7. So y2 is -1. So point B is 0, -1. Are we good there? Okay. What, Ryan? Now, I'm seeing this in my algebra classes. I think y'all are a little bit better about it, but I'm just going to say it anyway. If I'm bothering to write this down, then you need to write down how to work it, because every once in a while I'll let you use your book. You know, the composition book that has all your warm-ups in it. Okay. My Algebra 1 kids, I let them use the composition book today on the quiz. Half of them didn't write down how to do the problem. They just had the answer, and then they were complaining they didn't know how to do it. So if I'm bothering to write it down, you should too. Okay. Preferably before I'm writing it down, you've already worked it. And then you're just making little corrections here and there if you need to. All right. So we ready? All right. So the last one here, it says XY is a bisector of AXE. Okay. So I've got a big angle, AXE. And it says XY is a bisector. Now, what does bisector mean? What is it doing to the big angle? To what kind of pieces? Congruent pieces, I think is what I heard. Yes. So this is the same as that. All right. So AXY, follow the letters. AXY. So this one right here is 5x plus 7. And YXE, this one right here, is 7x plus 12. Now, so what can I do with these two angles? Equal them. Good. 5x plus 7 equals 7x plus 12. Okay, so then we solve. And we divide by 2. If you want to leave it as a fraction, that's fine. If you want to put it as a decimal, that's fine. Okay? Now, so we have x. Yes, sir, it was. Negative. And now it also wants to know the measure of AXE. So we have two options. We can plug into both of them, or we can plug into one and then multiply it by 2. So either way, I guess so. Negative 2.5. And if we come out with a negative answer, it's my fault because I made the problem up. Okay. I don't think I remembered to go back and fix it so that it wouldn't be negative. We should get a positive one for any problem that is real. Okay, so I'm doing this as much as anything to double check to make sure that my x is right, because they should come out to be the same. Okay, So
I can plug in like that into both.
because we need the whole thing. We need angle AXE.
I was asking, because you said that there's two angles.
Right, but I'm double checking to make sure that I did it right. Okay, if you go this longer way.
These are for your state skills kit.
Okay,
Math
gotcha.
enrichment.
Okay,
That's what they need to make sure they do in their.
Okay. all right, very good. And you got your calculator?
Yes.
Okay, good deal.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, and so they did come out the same, which is good. Would have been better if they were positive, but oh well. So what is that, negative 11? This measure of angle AXE. Any questions? Like I said, it came out negative because I made it up. All right. So we got that. Now, set that aside. And I want to look at this homework that I gave you another chance on yesterday after we went over some things. Okay, we did 1 through 6 together. And then I gave you time to go back and rework the other ones. And I want to make sure that you got them right. Okay, so if you have a question, you need to ask, okay? Now, all right, so number 7, they only share the vertex, so they're vertical angles. And what do we know about vertical angles? They're always congruent. So we set them equal to each other, and you should have gotten 42 for X. Okay, any questions on that one? Okay, all right, we've got a right angle here. We know that because of the little box right here. And so that means these two angles have to add up to what? They have to add up to 90, okay, which means they're complementary angles. Okay, so you should have gotten 10.67 or 32 over 3.
This is all right if you like round it up.
No, you do not round these things. Okay?
10.7.
Yes, ma'am.
So you have to put both digits outside of the decimal, the 6 and 7?
I prefer 2 places. It just makes it a little more accurate. If you only put 10.7, that's okay, but don't round it to the nearest whole number.
That's what I did. I put 10.7.
Okay, I'll take that. Now later on, when we get to sine, cosine, and tangent, we're going to be taking it out to probably 4 decimal places. Okay, because it starts making a difference. All right.
I put 10.6 instead.
Okay, it was 10.66666666. So make sure you watch your rounding there. Okay.
Yeah, I'll put 10.6 too.
Okay.
Is that wrong? Or?
Well, you actually got this, right? Okay, well, this rounds that up to 10.7.
So were you supposed to round?
I thought he meant to the nearest whole number when I said don't round. Okay. I like 2 places behind the decimal. Okay, because that's actually more functional, whether you're doing this kind of math or money or whatever, it's just a little more accurate. Okay, so in general, give me 2 places behind the decimal, but I'm not going to count it wrong this time. Okay,
10.66, would that be fine?
well,
Or
then this 6 rounds that 7 up. So that's why I did 10.67. So round it up. You remember 5 or more, up the score, 4 or less, let it rest. Okay. All right, so we got that. All right, now we got another right angle. So that means it's complementary. We add the 2 together. Okay, now I didn't do 2x plus 3x plus 15. I just wrote 5x plus 15. If you do that, that's okay, but be careful that you don't miss something. All right, so you should have gotten x equals 15. All right, what about this one? What kind of pair is this? Linear, and linear pairs always add up to 180. Good. Okay, so you should have gotten 11.
I said that was
I'm not sure.
vertical.
Okay, vertical with this one would have been right here. These two would be vertical. Okay. This one, they're sharing this side. Okay, they have one shared side. Vertical, they only touch at the vertex. It's like here and here,
Wait,
or here and here.
so
Those
where-
are vertical.
Where do they touch again?
Huh?
Wait, you said they only touch one time. Those only touch one time too. In the middle.
Okay. You've got the vertex right here. They share a side. Here, they're only touching at the vertex, at the point of the angle. Remember, vertical angles are your scissor angles. Right here, they only touched right here.
Oh, so
Okay.
There's arrows right there. It's gonna
No,
be-
the arrows have nothing to do with it. This 2x plus 28.
Okay, so they can only be straight up and down if it's vertical.
Straight up and down, they could have been right here. We could have had 7y equals, I don't know, 15y.
Okay, but the lines are they're gonna be like this. They're not gonna turn sideways, right? Like if you made an X going that, yeah, would that be vertical?
Okay. This one is vertical with this one. And this one
Oh, I
is
see where it's
vertical
going.
with that one. It doesn't matter the orientation of the lines, it's that they're directly across only a shared vertex. Here, you're sharing a whole side. Okay, you see the difference? Okay, that's a good question. All right, so now, so you say this plus this has to equal 180. So 12 and 3 is 15x. 25 minus 10 is 15. Okay, so we subtract 15 from both sides.
I forgot to do that.
Okay, all right. So does everybody who didn't get 11 understand where you got off there?
No.
Okay, what did you have?
I don't know.
Okay.
25, okay. So you did that. You added these instead of subtracting them. This is a positive 25, that's a negative 10.
Dang.
That's where it went off.
Okay.
Okay, but your process was there. Okay. All right. Now, so we've got complementary angles. They didn't give you a picture. I think we went over this and said, hey, you need to pay attention to this word complementary. You have to add them and set them equal to 90. So you should have gotten x is 7, and then you plug that 7 back into each one to get 53 and 37. You got what?
I didn't do that. That's wrong.
Did you just stop at 7? Okay. So you got what you needed there, but you didn't finish. Okay. All right. Any questions on that?
Okay, so like every time you have like the 90-degree one, you add them, and then it equals 90.
Right. Unless they only give you one and they say, what's the missing angle? Then you end up having to do some subtraction.
That's
Okay.
fine.
Okay. All right. So here it says supplementary. Okay. So that means the two angles they give us have to add up to 180. Okay. So that was your key right there. So 3x and 2x is 5x. A negative 7 and a positive 2 was a negative 5. And that equals to 180. Okay. I just combined them straight up. I didn't write everything out. If you need to write everything out, do it. Okay. I was in a hurry when I did this. Hopefully you got x is 37. And then when you plugged into each one, you got 104 and 76. Are we good there? Okay. You good, Kinley? Okay. All right. You good, Joseph? Okay. All right. Now, so they gave us this picture. Anytime they give you the picture, you need to put all the information from the words into the picture. It makes it a lot easier. Okay, so it says ABD. So we follow the letters ABD. So this angle right here is 3x plus 1. Then DBC. So that angle is 4x minus 7. And then they say ABC, that's the whole thing, is 85. Okay, so we have to add this plus this, and it equals 85. Yes. Okay, so 7x minus 6 is 85. And you finish solving, and you end up with x is 13. And then it says find ABD. ABD. So we have to plug in 13 to 3x plus 1. So 3 times 13 is 39 plus 1 gives you that 40. We good there? You took the x that you got and you plug it back into ABD, which is 3x plus 1, and you get your final answer. Do you forget to do that? Okay. All right. It says classify. That means tell me if it's acute, obtuse, straight, or right. Okay. It's less than 90, so it's acute.
That's
Name.
what I don't get. The name and the angles. Like I know complementary is right angle, and it equals 90. I know vertical.
That's two, at least two angles add up to 90.
And vertical is
The scissor angles, and they always equal each other.
I don't know what supplementary is.
180. Adds up to 180, just like this one. Okay. When it says classify, they're asking, ladies. Okay. When they say classify, they're asking what kind of angle it is. Okay. So it's either going to be less than 90, which is acute, more than 90, which is obtuse, 90 degrees, which is right, or a straight angle. If we had two rays, okay, then that's 180 degrees. Okay. Yeah, a single angle can't be supplementary. A single angle can't be complementary. There has to be more than one. Okay. All right. Now, when you name the sides of the angle, you name the two rays that make the angle. So ML, ray ML, and ray MN. Okay. All right. Then it says what YW is the bisector. What does a bisector tell you? No. Cuts it into two congruent pieces. Okay, so here's the bisector. So it's cutting the big angle into pieces that are the same size. So you need to mark that. Then it gives you X, Y, W. Okay, and it gives you Y, W, Z. So we labeled that. All right, now that's all they gave us. These two are the same, so we can set them equal to each other. When you solve, you got X was 11, and then it asked for X, Y, Z, which is the whole thing. So you plug it into both of them and add them up. They should end up being the same. And we got 166, 83 and 83. Okay, flip over.
So,
You add 83, 83.
Uh-huh.
so on 16, if it doesn't give you like the thing for like X, X, Y, and Z, like then you just equal them out.
Well, it said YW was a bisector. Bisector is what told us we could set this little angle equal to that little angle. Okay, it's the definition of bisector that tells us those are the same. Okay, now, so on 17, you had to use the distance formula. You should have gotten 2 square root of 5. On 18, you use that midpoint formula. X2 plus X, or X1 plus X2 divided by 2, and Y1 plus Y2 divided by 2. You should have gotten 1 and 5. Okay, any questions on that? Okay, yes, ma'am.
Let's get 2 square root of 5.
I got square root of 20. Did you get that?
Yes.
Okay, so when we do our factor tree on 20, we have 4 and 5. 4 goes to 2 and 2. The 2 gets to come out, and the 5's left
My
inside.
math was off.
Okay, all right. So clear your desk. I tell you what, if you want to use your notes, you can use your warm-ups.
Oh.
You can use your warm-ups because we have problems like this on all of them. Warm-ups, the composition book. You didn't write it down in the problem?
I did it, yes.
Quickly. Yes, ma'am, you may. Okay, how many do I have here? Let's see. Leave that.